Hey guys, welcome to the channel. So I'm going to talk about sobriety. Is it worth it? I have 10 years sobriety, no relapses, and I'm going to just give you guys my thoughts on if being sober is worth it. Okay, that's a good question. A lot of people want to know what they're getting into. They're nervous, they're scared. Maybe they haven't been sober for years. They don't remember what sobriety is like. So I'm going to talk about if it's worth it or not. So before we get started, though, please hit the subscribe button. We're going to dive into some really good nuggets. Here's the thing. So I was a bottom drunk, meaning that I was at the very low of my life, and I hit a rock bottom that, I was close to homelessness, close to death. My friend, the only friend I had left, told me I would be dead in a year. I already had a heart attack, 4 years prior to when I quit drinking. Going to the urgent care and the ER and getting arrested and tickets and debt and all of that. It was a nightmare, and I couldn't see the light, so to speak, because I was in my addiction. I was in the cycle of alcoholism. And when you're deep down in that hole of alcoholism, your only sense of relief is to drink more because you want to get back to that feeling of normalcy, or maybe a little buzz, just something to keep you going, just that little bit of dopamine to make your life, bearable. And so you basically turn to something that is killing you. It's like, the Stockholm syndrome, where you turn to the person who is suppressing you. You turn to them for help. Okay. So I was turning to alcohol to help the problems that alcohol created. And that's the insanity of alcoholism. It's a downward spiral. Okay. And so my only sense of relief was cracking open that beer at 8 in the morning, puking that one up on the floor, and then trying to get a second one down, praying that the second beer would go down so I could get that, 5 minute buzz. That's what it came down to. So ultimately, alcohol took away everything in my life. There's nothing romantic about it. In my 20s, I romanticized it. I looked up to the alcoholic writers because I was a writer. I was like, yeah, Jack Kerouac, Charles Bukowski, Hemingway, F. Scott Fitzgerald. They were huge alcoholics, but they all died pathetic, miserable lives, slow, miserable death. And it's not worth it. It eventually takes away everything. There's nothing romantic about it, and it doesn't get better if you keep drinking. If you're an alcoholic, now I'm not giving you an excuse to be like, well, I'm not as bad as him, so I'm going to keep drinking. No, you should stop before it gets bad. Okay, I took it all the way till the very end, and it was horrible. I wasn't even showering anymore. I wasn't clipping my nails. I was randomly crying. I was almost hallucinating. And the girlfriend, my ex girlfriend at the, she was just ignoring me, and she didn't know what to do. And I was just rocking back and forth in a dark room in the house, avoiding life, avoiding people as much as possible, hardly working, and very scared. And it's very dark. It gets more demonic. It gets darker, you know, and it's just really bitter. Um, so I, so basically, I relapsed a lot. I was always trying to get sober. There was still a light in my eyes. I had big dreams growing up that I was going to do something with my life. And here I am, trembling and rocking back and forth in a dark room. And alcohol almost took me out. But by the grace of God, October 2008, I think it was, I stopped. I knew I'd have to get rid of. I knew I would have to get rid of the ex girlfriend. Lots, the old drinking friends, I knew I was going to be on a journey by myself for a while to repair, to save my life. I had to go back home and save my life. I had to become a recluse to save my life. And I did. I broke up with that girl and ignored the two drinking friends I had left. And I went back to my school bus, lived in a converted school bus. Hadn't been there for several months because I was living with the ex girlfriend, but I walked home. I said, this is the last day. And I grabbed the last two beers in the fridge and I walked home and I slowly sipped on those last two beers and that was it. And from then on, I had to learn how to eat food again. I mean, there was a point I couldn't even stomach yogurt. I was vomiting at my job. I was running to the bathroom and vomiting. And one time I didn't make it to the bathroom and vomited in a garbage can. Luckily, no one was in the kitchen when I did it. So I had to learn how to eat food again. And I slowly started to get my strength back and I picked up a second job. So all I'm doing now is I'm working and I'm going home. And when I went home, I still had my cigarettes and my M&Ms. That was the my treat for the night to look forward to. And so I did that for a couple years, and then I got rid of the cigarettes. And then I met my current fiance, who did not want anything to do with drinking because her dad was an alcoholic, and so she was refreshing, and she helped me a lot. And I started to learn about spirituality and self development, and started to pick up the pieces. And then I started to work out again, and change my body. And then all my dreams started to come back, what I wanted to do with my life. Some of my God-given gifts started to come back. So, is sobriety worth it? Leave a comment. How long have you been sober? Is it worth it to you? Because here's the thing, sobriety is worth it if you are willing to transform your life and do something that you never thought was possible, okay? Because this life can be miraculous. Heaven and hell are both on earth right now. And I know for a fact I was in hell I was in a personal hell with my drinking. I knew there was demons in my life. And it's very real. This world is a spiritual warfare, and you have two sides. You have the God's angels and God wanting you to go that direction, and then you have Satan and demons wanting you to go another direction. And I know it might seem a little crazy for you to think that way, but I read a lot of Derek Prince talking about demon warfare and the power of prayer and fasting, and it's really true. And I'm not going to just get sober and go back to an 8 to 5 job and be a normal guy. Okay, let's just put it that way. For me, I've always been artsy and I've always been extreme. Growing up, I was teased for being dramatic and imaginative, and I'm still imaginative today. And I like to make things very dramatic and black and white. And so for me, sobriety means to transform your life and to do miraculous things. That's, to me, that's a life worth living. If I'm going to be sober, I'm going to go all the way. And that means helping you guys and paying it forward and doing these videos and creating a tribe of people, like-minded people that want to live, that want to make a difference. Sobriety is not worth it if you're going to just watch TV and do a regular. I mean, maybe you want to have an 8 to 5 job in a normal life. That's great. You can have that too. And you can be, rest assured, you can wake up and have peace of mind again. You won't have the demons. You won't have the anxieties when you're sober after a while. I don't have to look around. I don't have to look over my shoulder when I pass a cop on the highway. Okay. I don't have to run from the cops. I'm completely legitimate now. All the drama, all the ER visits, tickets, jail time, all of that stuff was alcohol related. When I stopped drinking, all of that drama went away. The bad girlfriend went away, the poverty went away, the bad health went away, um, the stink went away, the filth, the sloth, the gluttony, pissing the bed, waking up with random cuts on my body, that needed stitches, waking up in jail, all of that left, surprisingly. And it just amazes me that people choose to drink and live with these dramas, and they don't relate the two. They don't connect alcoholism with their dramas and I've known really good people that were stuck in alcoholism, and they had all these things happening to them, and they couldn't see that it was alcohol. They're just like, yeah, the wife gave me a black eye last night, and I wrecked the car, and I got all these court fines and hospital bills, and ran up my credit cards, and it was all alcohol related, and they didn't see it. Because I know when I got sober, all those things started to improve. They went away, the bad stuff. Now I'm debt free. I'm making multiple six figures a year. Lost 50 pounds in the last year. My fiance is picture perfect, beautiful, spiritual, clean, like high quality. And there's no way I could have gotten a girl like that when I was drinking. You attract who you are. So if you're living in drama and you're living in a downward spiral of alcohol and drugs, you're going to attract dark people. You're going to attract people that are messed up. Okay. But when you get sober, you start attracting a different crowd, and it's, you might have to be a recluse for a while and change your friends. Most of my friends are online now. You guys are my friends. I love your comments, so keep them coming. But I'm very happy now. I have 10 years of sobriety. I did have a couple 2-day relapses after 2008, but those relapses just solidified that sobriety was a way better choice. It was very clear. When I went back for 2 days and got drunk off of some cheap beer after a couple years of sobriety, I was like, no, I don't want to go back to this. My life in sobriety is way too good for this. And I just stopped. It's not an option anymore. I don't think about beer. If it's a sunny day, I don't think about beer anymore. If it's a rainy day, I don't think about beer anymore. And I don't think about drinking near beer or non-alcoholic beer. That's just flirting with death. It's not an option. I burn the bridge. I don't have days where I miss it. I don't have days where I'm like, I miss having friends. It's not worth it. I'd rather have a couple sober friends than have lots of drinking friends. And that's just me. But sobriety has been absolutely worth it. And life is just getting started. At 51, I feel these are the best years of my life. 40s were pretty good, but so far 50 and 51 has been absolutely amazing because I have wisdom now. I have a wealth of experiences I can draw upon. If I ever am lonely, I can think about the memories of all the people I met in this world. Not the alcohol, but just the beauty of humanity. The good, the bad, the ugly, everything in this life. It has all been worth it. The only regrets I have is hurting people. But I made amends with a lot of people. I cleared the air. The final amend that was the most important was forgiving myself. You have to forgive yourself because alcoholism is a demoralizing ride, and it goes down very dark and it's very demoralizing. Puking and pissing my pants and hurting people and wrecking cars and being arrested and embarrassed and having people watch me decline. It's very demoralizing, and it doesn't get better. If you're an alcoholic, it just gets worse, and pretty soon you will lose everything. And the only outcome you can have is death, insanity, or jail. That's the only three options you have. You really have to treat this like it's life or death. And and people are waiting for you to come home. They're waiting for you to be sober. They want to see your light shine again. We all have God-given gifts, and it's time to tap into those gifts and take them all the way and see how far you can go. I'm going to get to the point where I'm 165 pounds. I can fast for 10 days at a time. I can run marathons. I'm making $1 million a year. I'm helping thousands of people get sober. I'm dancing under the stars with a woman that I never dreamed of having. And so if you're going to stay sober, go all the way and see what you can do. Press the limits, push it all the way until you're just laughing to yourself going, wow, wow, the miracles of this world. I went from 40,000 in debt, pissing my pants, to making $1 million a year with a beautiful fiance, driving a Porsche 911, helping thousands of people stay sober, get sober, fasting 10 days at a time, getting close to God, feeling high off of just life, and fasting and prana, breatharian breathing techniques, and drinking cacao shakes, keto diet, you name it, just pressing the envelope. That's worth living. To just look at what you're doing and go, wow. I used to destroy everything I touched. Now everything is a miracle. Everything is a gift. That's why I say you shouldn't just go back to watching TV and a normal 8 to 5 job. You should really just push the envelope and inspire other people. Become extraordinary. Anyone can become ordinary. Become extraordinary and create a tribe of people and help them out. Help them survive, help them thrive. Get them out of debt, get them out of the clutches of alcoholism. Save some people before you die. Save some people so God is like, well done. You saved 10 of your fellow brothers from dying early. That's what I want God to say. Well done. You helped 100 people find me. Or you helped 100 people get sober. That's all I care about now. Because I was a self-centered, drunk a-hole. And I took, and I took, and I destroyed, and I took exactly what Satan wanted me to do. I was his little pawn. All right? You're not being rebellious, and you're not being cool, being a self-centered drunk. You're not. It's pathetic, it's immature, and you're going to just die. So you can either live or you can die. And I would choose quickly which one you want to do. Because drinking just gets worse. And I want to save you years of horrible times. And it's not worth it. It's not worth killing yourself and hurting others. This life is meant to be miraculous. And my life is miraculous, even with inflation and recession and all this crap. I'm actually getting wealthier and happier during these hard times. And you can too, because it's all in here. You can't blame people or your company or anything on who you are right now. You got to take 1,000% responsibility, and you can do anything you want, no matter what's going on in the world right now. You can create a heaven on earth right now with your sobriety and your progress and creating again and helping others and praying and fasting and getting ripped. I'm going to be more ripped than I was in my 20s. And everything is better than it was in my 20s. The only thing I had in my 20s was my youth, but I was young and dumb, okay? And I wasn't confident. Now I have confidence, I have wisdom, I have my body back, I have money, I have the fiance, I have God, I have you guys. It just keeps getting better and better. So yes, sobriety is absolutely worth it. Please like this video and share this with anyone who is struggling with alcohol right now. This is my life's calling. This channel means everything to me. So I really appreciate your support, and let's keep going. Let's just keep going with this. Follow up on my new videos. I'm going to start publishing more on this channel because it means the most to me. It really is close to my heart, and I know the most about sobriety and drinking. It's probably it's the one thing that I've mastered. So at least I can help others. And leave a comment if I've helped you. And God bless you all. We'll talk to you soon.